Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Barner, and I'm the host of Lighthouse Ventures. And today we're going to talk about how inflation impacts real estate. So, how does inflation impact real estate? Well, I can tell you that as inflation continues to soar, rents soar with it. Unfortunately, it's bad for renters, but as someone that owns real estate, we're the benefactor of rising inflation. And what we've learned through history of rental rates is once rents go up, they rarely come down. In fact, what we see over time is that as rents rise up, they might stabilize as the market changes and plateau for a little bit before they'll rise again with the next market trend. So here are some questions that I get frequently asked. Is it better to invest in investments during inflationary times? You know what? There's a lot happening in our market right now with interest rates going up. You've got inflation soaring. You've got housing prices at an all-time high. Prices everywhere it doesn't matter what market you're in. Across the nation, we're all being forced to pay more for wherever we want to live. I would suggest that you kind of take a very conservative approach in every asset you are looking at purchasing. Know that the market is going to turn at some point. How is that going to impact you? Where are you at in your season of life? And can you withstand whatever correction occurs? I can't tell you that a lot of people like to invest in the Midwest because we don't have the highs and lows that you tend to see on the East and West Coast. However, that being said, people are now moving more than ever before because of COVID to places where it's sunny and it's warm and they have quick access to beaches as well as those are mountaintops. So given those particulars, we're also buying along the East Coast because that's where people want to live. And because of that, we're keeping a strong eye on what's happening with interest rates and how is that going to impact our particular areas. So whenever we invest in anything, the driving factor for us is where do people want to live and is there a diversity of employers? Keep that in mind. Every time you go to buy anything, whether it's a single family home or a multifamily asset, you want to make sure there is a diversity of employers in that particular area, as well as wages that will support your particular rent. And you always want to make it 3 times higher or make sure that their wages are 3 times higher than the rent that you're charging for that particular asset or unit that you're charging for. So for example, if somebody makes $50,000 a year, you would divide it by 12 months to figure out how much are they making on a monthly basis, and then divide that by 3. And that's going to tell you how much somebody at a $50,000 income can support paying. You never want to move into an apartment or into a home that's greater than a third of your income. That's just a general rule of thumb that will support your living and make sure you don't exceed your wages that you end up earning for a living. With that, the next question is, does rent go down with inflation? So as I've shared earlier, rent rarely goes down. It doesn't matter what the market conditions are. We've seen lots of up cycles and down cycles. And through the years, the one thing that has remained constant is rent. Rent simply doesn't go down. It may stabilize and plateau for a while, but then it will continue back up in the future. So I'm getting a lot of questions asking me, is 2022 a good time to invest? And I will tell you that I myself think it's the top of the market. Although I will say that, stating that 2017, we thought it was the top of the market. And prior to that, we thought 2015 was the top of the market. Nobody has a crystal ball and can predict that. All we can do is look at market conditions and look at everything that's out there and what the Fed is doing. And what I can tell you is they're trying to keep housing from growing even further with an incline as steep as it's been over the last 2 years. So knowing that if they're going to be raising interest rates, you can expect housing prices will come down because there's going to be less people out in the market that are going to be able to afford the interest rates that support the mortgage that would go along with the corresponding house or apartment building. So as things come down a little bit, you're going to see less people, less competition buying those assets, buying those single family homes. So 2023 should actually be a better market and maybe an opportunity for you to get into the market. So I would just say, start learning your particular market now. Start watching what the market trends are. How many homes are on the market right now for sale? You know, hone in on a particular zip code if you're really interested in an area, and start getting to know, you know, what a 2-1 goes for, or a 3-1, or a 3-2. If you're looking at single family homes, but if you're looking at multi-family homes, start watching the cap rates for the area that you're investing in. Keep in regular communication with brokers in the area so that you know what the going cap rate is in the area. And that way you're more educated here in 3 months or 6 months to pull the trigger if you do find an asset you really love. So that's all I have today, folks, for interest rates and inflation. If you want to learn more or connect with me further, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to me at Jennifer@lighthouse-ventures.com. Have a great day.